Cartoon bullies are supposed to be the worst. Mean, cold, and impossible to root for. But every now and then, one of them slips and shows that they were never as heartless as they wanted everyone to think. Today, we're looking at the times cartoon bullies actually had a heart, and some of these moments seriously reframe the entire character. Starting with one of the biggest cartoon plot twists in cartoon history from Hey Arnold. For years, Helga Pataki is basically that one menace in class, always angry, rude, and always ready to catch a fade, looking to swing on someone like she personally chose violence for school lunch. She's out here bullying everyone, especially Arnold, like it's her full-time job. And on the surface, it looks like she woke up one day and decided to be a bloody menace for fun. But no, this episode pulls back the curtain and shows us that this girl is not just some fucking angry little gremlin. There's actually a reason she's like this, and it's kind of messed up, I'll be real with you. So on a very fortunate morning, the school brings in a child psychologist, Dr. Bliss, and this woman clocks Helga immediately. Like she takes one look at her casually pushing kids and acting like a certified menace and says, yeah, that's the one, bring her to the office immediately.
Thank you. One side, moron, I'm walking here. What are you looking at?
After a principal's office intervention, Dr. Bliss manages to bring in this human Tasmanian devil to her office for sessions. And at first, Helga is doing her usual nonsense, acting tough, talking crazy, pretending she doesn't care about anything. But once the sessions start, the bloody truth slowly starts leaking out, and this is where things get real. Because behind all of that anger is it's just neglect. Straight up neglect. Her parents don't see her, don't hear her, and don't f***ing care about her. They're too busy worshipping Olga like she's some kind of golden child sent from heaven. While Helga is just there, existing because, well, why not?
Taking me to preschool.
Yeah, in a minute, Olga.
No, I'm Helga, Dad. Helga.
Whatever. Go play outside, would you?
And it gets worse, because this isn't just a one-time thing. This is her whole f***ing life. There's this flashback where little Helga is literally walking to school alone in the cold because her parents didn't want to take her, getting splashed by cars, getting bullied, even getting her food stolen by a bloody diseased mutt. And not a single adult notices or cares, which is absolutely insane when you think about it. So of course, she grows up angry because what else is she meant to be? A cheerful ray of f***ing sunshine? Absolutely not. This here takes the cake. But then the moment comes and that changes everything. The moment that explains her entire childhood. Little Arnold. This tiny rugby ball-headed lad sees her struggling, walks up and puts an umbrella over her head and compliments her bow, which instantly puts butterflies in her stomach. And this time, she didn't eat them. But that's it. That's all it takes. One teeny tiny act of kindness and it completely breaks her because no one has ever treated her like that before.
Hi, nice bow.
Huh?
I like your bow because it's pink like your pants.
And just like that, the bully makes sense because she's not bullying Arnold out of hate. She's actually doing it because she's scared. Scared of being rejected, scared of losing the only person who ever made her feel seen. So instead of showing love like a normal person would do, she does the complete opposite and hides it behind insults and violence, like a proper emotional disaster. And the biggest moment comes when she finally cracks in front of Dr. Bliss and admits it. She loves Arnold so much that he's got her imagining things.
I love Arnold! There, I said it! I love him! I love him! Arnold! I'm absolutely positively in love with the boy!
Just like that, it all makes sense now. The bullying, the anger, the madness, all of it. It's not cruelty, it's fear. Fear of losing the one good thing that she has. And yeah, she still goes right back to f***ing calling him football head right after, because, let's be honest, Helga is still Helga, but now at least we know the truth. She's not just a bully, she's a broken kid who just wanted someone to notice her. Alright, now this one is one hell of a proper redemption arc, because Pacifica Northwest starts off as one of the most insufferable rich kids in cartoon history. Like this girl who's walking around acting like she owns the entire bloody town, looking down on everyone like they're peasants, and to be honest, she's been one hell of a bloody certified menace to Dipper and Mabel for a long time. Proper stuck up, entitled silver spoon merchant, the whole package. It's so extreme that we've covered the episode before, but for an entirely different reason. It's in our old video on how not to portray abusive parents in cartoons, by the way, so go watch it, or we'll be under your bed. So, over at the Northwest Mansion, everywhere is casually getting absolutely violated by a ghost. And not some small-time boohoo ghost, but a full-on level 10 nightmare. The kind that doesn't just scare you, but ruins your entire bloodline, purely for the love of the game. So, Pacifica, desperate for help, goes to Dipper, which already tells you things are bad, because this girl would rather eat dirt than ask him for anything normally.
Guys, in case you've already forgotten, Pacifica Northwest is the worst. And that's not just jealousy talking. I'd say that to her face.
I need your help.
You're the worst.
But Dipper asks this prissy little to fix her own problems, because she's been a dickhead for too long. But thanks to Mabel and her obsession with fancy parties, he agrees, and they head over to the mansion, where everything looks perfect on the outside. But behind the scenes, it's a complete and, to be honest, rather ominous mess. And here's where things start getting interesting. At first, Pacifica is still acting like her usual self. All about appearances, all about status, even stopping Dipper from saving their lives at one point just because he might get the bloody carpet dirty. Which is like literally mental asylum behaviour. Because instead of getting your carpet bloody dirty, you'd rather have it, well, bloody. You know, literally bloody.
Right there!
Wait, don't go in there. This room has my parents' favorite carpet pattern. They'll lose it if we track mud in there.
What? Are you serious?
But then the truth comes out. Dipper finds out that this ghost isn't just angry for no reason. It wants bloody revenge. You see, years ago, Pacifica's ancestors promised the townspeople they could attend their big party if they helped build the mansion. And once the job was done, they locked them out like a bunch of absolute retarded bastards, leaving them to die. And now the ghost is back to collect.
But when it was time for the grand party they promised the common folk of the town, they refused to let us in.
So now Dipper realizes he's been played. The Northwest knew how to stop the curse the whole time. They just didn't want to lower themselves by letting normal people into their precious party. This is proper villain behavior. We need Arkham Asylum Batman to teach these f***ers a lesson. And this is where Pacifica gets called out. Dipper looks her dead in the eyes and tells her that she's just like them. Just another link in the worst f***ing family chain ever. And that one hits her hard, because for the first time, she actually starts questioning everything.
Right about you all along. You're just as bad as your parents. Another link in the world's worst chain.
I'm sorry, they made me. I should have told you, but...
And then everything goes to bloody hell. The ghost comes back, starts turning people into wood, like it's a bloody furniture sale, even gets Dipper himself, and now Pacifica is standing there, alone, with one choice to make. Follow her parents, or do the right thing. Her dad is ringing that stupid bell like the absolute bellend he is, ordering her to obey like he's been doing her whole life. And you can literally see her struggling, because this is all she's ever known. Obey, obey, obey. But this time, she looks at the mess her family have created, and for once, she decides, nah, not today. She opens the gates and lets the townspeople in.
Oh, yes!
Good Lord, the riffraff! They're everywhere!
And just like that, the curse is broken. The ghost calms down, everyone turns back to normal, and Pacifica, for the first time in her life, actually does something good. Not because she has to, not because she was told to, but because she chose to. And that is what adds her to this list. Because the bully didn't just have a heart, she chose to use it as well.
What we're standing on.
Take that.
Now we move to one of our favourite bullies, Buford. Now, Buford is the textbook example of bully. Big, strong, and absolutely dim-witted. Now that we've got that in mind, this episode starts exactly how you'd expect. Buford walks into Mr. Slushy Dog, sees Baljeet minding his business, and immediately does the most bully thing possible. Shoves him aside like he's a f***ing piece of aged furniture and orders his food, like a proper f***ing menace. And somehow, nothing looks out of place here.
Well, in that case,
Step aside, Weena. One windmill dog. Hold the bun.
Excellent choice.
But then karma pulls up instantly because this guy takes one bite of his windmill dog and starts turning blue like the mighty foxes of Leicester City. And guess who saves him? His f***ing victim, of course. It's Baljeet, the same guy he's been bullying since forever. Which already makes this whole thing feel like one of those moments where the universe is trying to teach someone a goddamn bloody lesson. Now, here's where it gets f***ing hilarious. Buford doesn't just say thanks and move on like a normal guy. No, this guy activates something called the Bully Code, which basically means since Baljeet saved his life, he now owes him everything. Like, I mean everything.
I am your humble servant.
what?
It's the bully code. I live my life by it.
If a nerd should save a bully's life, the bully is the nerd's slave for life.
And when we say everything, we mean this guy goes full servant mode. He starts following Baljeet around like a shadow, helping him with literally every tiny thing. And not in a normal, helpful way either, but in the most uncomfortable and over-the-top way possible. Like holding toilet paper for him, arranging his clothes, brushing his teeth, and even doing the unthinkable.
Well, the story is old. It's a 70s sitcom cliche.
Yeah, I mean, it gets cursed really, really quickly. I can't believe Baljeet even agreed to this. Now the Frenemies song sounds a little bit different.
This is a symbiotic relationship.
But back to the subject. Man just wanted peace and ended up with a full-time bodyguard that doesn't understand boundaries. And it gets so bad that he's literally running away from Buford, begging him to stop. But Buford refuses because in his head, this is honor, this is duty, this is the code, this is the way. And that's the funny part, because under all of that bullying, there actually is some weird sense of loyalty in this guy. It just makes him look like a f***ing nut job. But then Baljeet finally tries to take advantage of it. A lot of bullshit happens, stuff is flying around, chaos everywhere, and a giant object is about to crush him. And without even thinking, Buford jumps in and pushes him out of the way. And right after that, he just casually says they're even now. And he goes back to being a fat, smelly asshole with the IQ of a donkey's ass. And while this doesn't necessarily reflect a bully showing they have a heart, it shows that a bully does have one. But you just need to unlock it. It's like some sort of secret level or something. Now, you know I'm always tempted to dive into the greatest animated show of all time. But let's be real for a second. There are way better episodes that show Zuko actually having a heart. Like the later redemption stuff where he's basically carrying the team on his back. But I'm picking this one for a very specific reason. Because from Aang's point of view, this is the first time the angry, shouty, fire-throwing prince bastard actually looks like someone he could be friends with. And that's bloody important. So the setup is pretty simple. Aang gets captured by the bastard Commander Zhao, and for once, Zuko isn't the one who got him, which already has him fuming somewhere in the background like, hey, these assholes are stealing my villain spotlight. But then in the middle of the night, this masked guy called the Blue Spirit pulls up and starts taking down guards like it's nothing, moving fast, silent, efficient, like a proper stealth mission. And before you even process what's happening, Aang is free. Now, here's the twist that hits. The Blue Spirit, no, it's not a Leicester fan. Heavens no. It's Zuko, Prince Zuko. I've got to capture Aang Zuko. And instead of capturing Aang for himself right there, he helps him escape, fighting off soldiers, dodging arrows, doing everything in his power to get them both out alive. And yeah, technically, he still wants Aang for himself, but that's not what it feels like in the moment, because Aang doesn't see a banished, fatherless kid chasing a bounty anymore. He sees someone risking his life for him, and that there changes everything. At one point, Aang even helps Zuko during the escape, like they're actually working as a team, and it feels weirdly natural, like this could have been a normal friendship in another life. Then they finally get away, deep in the forest, all quiet with no soldiers, no chaos, and just the two of them. And this is where the moment really lands, lads, because Aang tries to talk to him, calm, friendly, just being Aang as usual. And he starts saying maybe they could have been friends, even comparing him to Kuzan, his old Fire Nation buddy from 100 years ago. And for a second, it almost works. You can feel it, but then reality kicks back in. Zuko snaps, attacks Aang again, and the whole illusion breaks instantly. Like, nah, this is still the same guy, still the enemy, still the problem, but the difference is, now we know there's something else there. Because under all that anger, pride, and obsession, there's clearly a person who can choose to do the right thing, even if it's messy, even if it's selfish, even if he doesn't fully understand it yet. And that's why this moment matters. Not because Zuko becomes good here. No, he f***ing absolutely doesn't do that. But it's because for the first time, both Aang and the audience see that he can be. Squidward's a real one, and I mean that. Now, Squidward having a heart isn't exactly breaking news. This guy shows flashes of it here and there, but this episode right here, this is the one where the grumpy, selfish, I hate everyone neighbour actually steps up in the most unexpected way, and it's bloody brilliant. So in this episode, the Saint, Mr. Krabs, forces a pizza delivery that shouldn't even exist. Bob and Squidward get stranded in the middle of nowhere, walking through what feels like an entire desert just to deliver one stupid pizza. And by this point, Squidward has had enough of life. But SpongeBob, he keeps going. No complaints, no anger, just pure determination to deliver that pizza, like it's the most important mission in the world. And honestly, that's what makes what happens next hit so hard, because after all that suffering, they finally reach the customer's house. SpongeBob walks up all excited and proud, ready to complete the delivery like a good lad. And for a second, it looks like it might actually pay off. Then the dumbass customer asks for a drink.
Your Krabby Patty pizza is here!
Where's my drink?
What drink?
My drink? Don't tell me you forgot my drink!
But you didn't order it.
And everything goes downhill instantly. SpongeBob checks, realizes there's no drink, tries to explain, simple mistake, not even their fault. But this absolute bastard of a customer doesn't even care. He just starts going off, blaming SpongeBob for everything, like he's personally ruined his life. And then he throws the pizza in his face, slams the door.
One stick of the customer? You call yourself a delivery boy? Well, I ain't buying!
Sponge? It's okay. Sponge?
And refuses to pay, just like that. And SpongeBob, he breaks. He just drops to the floor and starts crying his eyes out after everything he went through. And it's not even funny at this point, it's just sad. Like watching the nicest guy in the world get treated like trash for absolutely no bloody reason in hell. Sorry, I got a little bit carried away there. Now here's where Squidward comes in. At first, he tries to confront him awkwardly, not really knowing what to do because, yeah, this isn't just his usual thing. So, I mean, of course that doesn't work because SpongeBob just keeps crying. And you can see Squidward slowly processing what just happened. That's when he decides to take the piss. This miserable mollusk who spent the whole episode complaining, insulting, and wanting nothing to do with this delivery, suddenly turns around and marches straight back to the customer's door, like he's about to start a boss fight. The customer opens the door, probably expecting another apology, but special delivery. Squidward just slams the pizza right back into his face, and we loved every second of it.
Look, I told you, little friend, I ain't paying for that!
Well, this one's on the...
Then he goes back to SpongeBob and lies to cheer him up, saying that the customer loved it and ate the whole thing, even without the drink. And just like that, SpongeBob is smiling again. Mission accomplished. That's the moment you realise that Squidward didn't do it for money, didn't do it for the job, didn't even do it because he likes SpongeBob like that. He did it because someone crossed a line. And for once, the grumpy neighbour chose to stand up for the one person who actually treats him like a friend. So yeah, turns out even Squidward can be a real one when it counts. Now, sometimes a bully has a heart deep down. But in Cartman's case, yeah, apparently the guy has to fucking die first before it even shows up. That said, adding him to this list would be not fair. Get it. Moving on. So the whole thing starts because Cartman does what Cartman always does. He eats all of the skin off the KFC, which is already a crime against humanity, and the boys finally snap and decide the only way to deal with him is to ignore him completely. And it works a bit too well. Because Cartman, being Cartman, doesn't think, oh, they're ignoring me. Maybe I messed up. Nah, this lad immediately jumps to, yeah, I must be dead. Like full ghost mode, walking around, talking to people, nobody responding. And instead of questioning his life choices, he just accepts it and starts thinking about the afterlife like he's some lost soul.
Guys! Can anybody hear me? You guys! Token, I'm here! They don't even know yet that one of their best friends is dead, still wandering the earth, a lost soul.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because for the first time ever, Cartman actually starts trying to fix things. He links up with Butters, the only one who still talks to him, and the two of them come up with a plan to get Cartman into heaven, which already sounds mad. Like, you know who we're dealing with here. So he starts apologizing. Yes, Cartman, apologising to people he's wronged, trying to make things right, even sending gift baskets and all that. And it's not perfect, it's messy. He doesn't fully get it, but for once, he's not doing things just to be a menace. He actually thinks he needs to be better.
These people start dying, man!
Give me 30 seconds in there, and then you go in and free the hostages. Don't worry.
Well, be careful.
They can't hurt me, Butters. I'm already dead.
Somebody's coming in!
And then it goes even further, because Cartman starts believing that maybe he's been kept on Earth for a purpose, like he's meant to help people. And when a hostage situation pops up, this guy actually runs towards it. Not away, but towards it. And somehow, through nothing but pure chaos and confusion, he ends up helping stop the criminals, saving the day in the most ridiculous way possible. But still, he did it. The same guy who usually causes problems is now fixing one. He might have done f*** all, but I mean, technically it does still count.
What the hell is going on? Two little boys have fearlessly gone inside the Red Cross. The hostages are clear!
So, for a brief moment, it really looks like Cartman might have changed. Just because he thinks he's dead, it actually forced him to look at himself and try to be better. The boys even come back and say they're willing to be his friend again. But that's when it all falls apart, because the second Cartman realizes he's not dead, that he's basically been tricked, that all those apologies were basically for nothing, he loses it. Goes back to being the same angry, selfish, menacing, fat-ass asshole, blaming everyone, especially Butters, like the growth never even happened. That's when you realise that the heart was there for a second. You just had to trick him into thinking he was a ghost to activate it. So yeah, technically, Cartman proves bullies can have a heart. It's just, in his case, it comes with a very stupid unlock condition. And that shows you that no matter how heartless bullies can be, they actually do have a heart, somewhere in there. You just need to know what lever to pull. If you want us to dig up even more cartoon bullies with hidden hearts, let us know in the comments. Hit subscribe and cheerio!